All right, so before we start with education, I decided I'm gonna do a little back testing session. Basically, you're gonna see me taking one or two trades. I'm gonna talk about it, I'm gonna talk through it, and you will see later on in the course. My point here is that you understand why we're doing what we're doing. So I'm gonna talk you through my top-down analysis, and then once we go in the course, you're gonna see, okay, this is why we're looking at this, okay, this is why we're looking at that. So basically, I'm gonna do a back testing. I'm gonna scroll this down so I don't see where the price went, and we can go and I'll kind of talk through, trading setups and my trading analysis. And once we go to the course, you'll see how in detail why I do what I do. Okay, so somewhere right here. First of all, we identify our bias, starting with weekly time frame. If I go to the 1 hour, I mean it has, oh wait, okay, I think we're good. So looking at the weekly time frame, we see that the price was moving up, having a strong trend up, but then it reversed, started making lower lows and lower highs. If we look at retracements, we can identify, we will learn how to identify how strong is the trend. So we have 0.5, 0.618 retracement, and we have 0.618 retracement. So basically a regular bearish trend, nothing too crazy, nothing too weak, so regular bearish trend, we identified that. If we look at the weekly candles, we can see that even though we had a start of building up of momentum on bulls, the next candles became very bearish, and bulls tried to step in here once again and were takeover by this bearish weekly candle close. So our overall bias stays bearish. Everything looks bearish. If we look at our magnet zones, we need to identify our magnet zones, so we can identify our moves, our targets, and so on. So we have one right here. We have magnet zone here, a magnet zone here, and we have a magnet zone right here. Yeah, I think I like this. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Now we go to the daily time frame. We look at our daily support and resistance. Let's look at daily resistance. It's our daily resistance. Now you can adjust the same settings as I do. So basically, you can see every time I draw a box, I can right click, go to visual, or to go to templates and daily resistance, daily support. Now if I click daily support, it changes colors to blue. Blue is support, red is resistance. Now we have more support here, and we have resistance on the daily time frame right here. So now what do we see on the charts? What do I see on the charts? I see that overall we're very bearish on the bias. We can see that the previous weekly candle was very bearish. We can see that previous daily candle closed bearish engulfing, and it closed below daily resistance. So now, since the price rejected this resistance and this magnet zone, our overall move is to the next support, or to the next resistance, or to the next magnet zone. Now, since the price broke below resistance, our next target is the next magnet zone and the next support. So our overall bias is that the price may move lower before switching directions or continuing its trend to the downside, right? So we set our overall bias. We go to the 2-hour time frame. We look for our supply and demand areas. We have indecision candle. Let's see if this confirms. Yes, indecision candle supply right here. We're going to talk about this one as well. So supply and demand areas for me are gray zones, gray colors. Now if we go to the lower time frame, we're gonna see if the price is able to come to this level and show any of the rejection. Okay, so the price rejected. I would like to see, like, I would enter this trade, but the price is still moving upwards. I would like to see an invalidation that would confirm this continuation to the downside. So this would be push, this would be retracement, and I want this channel of retracement to be broken for me to enter the trade to the downside. Here we go. We have bearish engulfing candle on the 30-minute. We have rejection of our supply. So our first target is going to be the magnet zone. We're going to see if we have anything in our way. That's how we manage the trade. You mark up, we're going to talk about that as well. You mark up all the areas where the price could reject. So I think magnet zone works well here for us. The next one, yeah, I think this is pretty good. Okay, so the first target was hit. Now, my job as a trader is to base my trades and base my trade management on facts and not feelings, right? So what I'm gonna do, since I have this magnet zone, I'm gonna watch this closely, how the price reacts to this magnet zone. Now, if it starts to reject, I close partials or set my stops to break even, or if it breaks below, I'm gonna continue to hold my trade. Now we can see that the price is having trouble right around this level, right? Okay, so we're moving lower. My next overall target is the daily support. Let's see if we have any zones in our way. This could be something that disturbs our trade. So I'm gonna mark this up and see how the price reacts to this level if it drops below. Now, if the price closes below above the magnet zone, I'm gonna be closing partials. Okay, so right here I closed partials around 25% of my position. Basically, I'm basing my trade management on the facts. So if the price is moving against you, if the price is breaking the zones against you, then you have to look at that and professionally and take partials. So I'm running 75% of my position. Okay. We rejected the magnet zone once again, but it looks like we're starting to break it. If we close above this resistance, this 30-minute resistance, I'm going to be closing another 25% of my position. Another 25, so 50% of my position, it was closed in profit already. So even if the price hits my stop loss, I'm gonna be break even. I'm probably gonna be even in profit because the first target was 1.71 risk to reward. So I'm running 50% of my position, risk free. As you can see, the resistance that we marked up is being respected at the moment, but so far no strong reactions, no reasonable reactions. There we go. Final target was hit, which is 1 to 5.7 risk to reward. And that's not just how I opened the trade. I also showed you how I managed the trade. So you manage the trades by basing on facts and not feelings. So you mark up the zones where the price could reject, and you react and wait to see how the price reacts to those levels. So now as the price approached this level, I did not see any significance in the price change because we had this strong of a momentum to the downside, and this move to the upside wasn't strong enough, wasn't good enough, and our final target was the next daily support. So everything worked perfectly. Now, this is why I mark up my daily support and resistance zones and my magnet zones. So now once the one is broken, now my next overall target, I'm going to be taking short trades down to the support. If the support is respected, I'm going to look for long positions up to the next resistance. Now, if the next resistance is broken, I'm going to continue looking for longs to the next resistance, and so on. So now it helps you identify the waves on the higher time frame, and now once you drop to the lower time frame, it's easier for you to understand where you are at the moment and what kind of trades you should be looking for. All right, guys, let's get into the lessons. Since now you hope you understand why I do everything and how I do everything.